Welcome to the Lost Lives Count, where we tell you victims in horror movies, TV shows, episodes with horror elements, action flicks, music videos, and YouTube videos, and beyond. I am your host, William Prouty, aka Nexus. I'm doing Weapons 2025, created by Barbarian director Zach Cregger. Cregger is actually known for Barbarian, who by far I actually did watch Barbarian, and it did not scare me whatsoever. This movie kicked off a chilling mystery at 2:17 a.m. A tire crash vanish of kids vanished but one. The whole town spiraled with paranoia and pointed to one teacher. But she didn't do it. Instead, the film devolves into a twisted mind and weave into multiple storylines, like a horror version of the Magoria. I mean, the first story we divulge is Justine, then Archer, then Paul, then James, then Marcus, the principal, and then finally the kid Alex for the climax. And we've seen the town unravel, and parents desperate to find answer. Neighbors turn on each other. Honestly, we actually wondering who actually. And also, Aunt Gladys, who is by far a great villain in this movie, who actually had a medicine charm. How many lives did Aunt Gladys did in this chaos? Let's find out. The movie begins with the studios of Moonlight Cinema, a Discover company, and Domain Pictures, Domain Entertainment, and the screen fade to black, a chilling narrator of a kid who actually cut his silence. This is a true story that no one can do. A Maybrook Elementary. And the halls of the school, empty and echoing. The camera lingers on classroom door where the nameplate reads Justine Grandy. Justine Grandy, the teacher who actually portrayed by Julia Garner. Horror fans know her from The Last Exorcist Part 2 as Gwen, from Apartment 7A as Terry, and Charlotte Lavelle from the crappy reboot of The Wolfman. Not 2019's Wolfman, 2024's. The school remains silent, and the camera shifts through empty hallways. Only one student remains, Alex Lilly, played by Carly Christopher, known as Finn in Fuller House. Every other kid rise from bed at 2:70 a.m. and walk out of their homes and run into the night, and they never come back. And the music swells and they vanish with footsteps echoing until the darkness, and the camera followed until they collided with the title card weapons. Parents frantic, and they actually search and demand answers. Even the kids record videos on their ring doorbells. What happened? That, but even kids on phones, they actually, a lone survivor, Alex, he doesn't know anything. If he actually, he never knew. Likely story. And Justine, the teacher, doesn't know at all. All else, the story begins in a meeting and set the stage. The narration splits into parts. Justine, Archer, Paul, James, Marcus, and finally Alex. And wait until the grand finale. And Josh Brolin, who actually played Oxet, and horror fans remember him as Josh in The Mimics. He's the same name as his character in this movie, and James from in Night Watch. He's actually furious and complains Justine why 17 kids, why her classroom. He demands answers. Justine speaks, she is shaken, trembling. She says she's sorry, is sorry. She want to explain, but the parents call her a liar. The tension rises as Principal Marcus Miller, played by Benedict Wong, who actually is rival in Prometheus, which I will actually cover the Alien franchise if anybody want me to cover the whole Alien franchise. The continue from her each character carry suspicious grief and fear into the unfolding nightmare. Weapons. Weapons. Honestly, Seeker also created Miss March. It was actually released in August of this year. It got $38 million budget that made $268.2 million worldwide. And Benedict Arnold Wong is Doctor Strange. But I will actually not give away the grand finale at all. But the reason why Zach made it, Zach wrote Weapons because in 20, he was grieving a close friend who actually died. He's actually grieving. So he collaborated with Trevor Moore. He described the film a way to process a tragedy without self-destruction, channeling grief into a character-driven horror odyssey. The film has been compared to Magoria crossed with Stephen King, a sprawling example of supernatural dread. But honestly, widely praised of one of the best horror movies. No, it is ambitious storytelling, shocking twists, and alleged thieves. Spark up theories about the disappearance and were supernatural and psychological. She is a member of the community, and now she actually leave her alone, and they force her to. Honestly, Marcus want her to lay low and keep her head down, and she walks into a court stored by booze. Like Homer Simpson say, booze. The door creaks open, and the man in the counter is actually honestly the man in the counter. But honestly, we actually saw James, who actually played by Austin Abrams, who actually is horror fan known as Tommy from Scary Movies to Tell from the Dark. Two bottles, but there was a no caller ID that better say you better watch your back. And she hung up the phone. She returns home with the bottles and sit down to watch the TV. The glow flickers across the TV until she clicks it off. Then whisper, "Hello?" She actually say, "Hello? Someone there?" Dogs bark as she hear the knock rattle the door. Who there? She grab a weapon and she actually shake it and she went outside and watch someone painted witch. Painted witch on her car with red paint. The tensions was it and Principal Miller, played by Bandit Rod, tell her keep her distance, keep everything contained. Alex is in Mrs. Belt's class. Here, and met how's Miller met he been harassed by a reporter. He said it's not the professional. He You're not the parent, you're the teacher. Justina walks to her car, breaking down into tears. She tells the officer, and she meet her ex-boyfriend Paul, played by Alden Ritchie. Audience know her as Eddie from Cocaine Bear, which I will actually recover, and Ben Collins from Supernatural. When it goes, which, if anybody give me time, I will actually cover the Supernatural franchise as a lives lost count. It's a long franchise, and Supernatural have 45 minutes, and I actually have to break it down to 2 parts. This is she drank at the bar heavily and her hand low, and voices weighed judgment across Sid's Paul. Her ex had now a police officer in normal clothes, his head injured. I'm wondering why his head is injured. Wrapped tight. And both does it, and he doesn't want to drive drunk. He actually hopes that it gets her, and she sit alone, a pity party and drunk, and trying to forget. And Paul leaned forward, and the boy comes, and Justine forces her up, and 17 kids up. She actually says 17 kids are missed, and now where are they? Yeah, I'm wondering, where are they? She pull up to his house and been suck a dick, and she actually walk up to Alex, and she never get an answer, and newspaper gets the house, and she peers through a glimpse, and his parents sit stiffly on the couch inside, and Miller just scald her. Principal Miller just scald her. Her. And his heavily. She walk foot towards, and Donna, played by Judah Data Ralph, who actually is her only horror role, though she's appear in the sequel of Freakier Friday. Confront her daughter sneers, "Did you fuck him?" Pour booze on Justine clothes as she dripping down. You got him drunk, and Justine terrified to go out, and hostile the shallow breathing, and defeated only lift her head and meet her eye. It's Alex lift her eyes with red eyes, and it's a dream. Justine meet Gladys on the walls and stretch across the plaster, and like the shadow check it if it's he Okay, he whispered back, don't follow me. She knocked again, waited for outside, stake out with booze. She falls asleep again, and Mrs. Lily, she slips inside the car and cuts Justine's hair while she is asleep. I'll tell you why that is important later. Now, it shifts to Archer's storyline after. Now, he actually worked at a construction crew talking about what actually happened and whispering the missing kids and book. And Archer think Justine did it. She actually in trouble. She got DUI and inappropriate behavior. It's continue with Justine story, but with Archer's storyline. He actually follow her, paints her car with the witch, and he thinks he see Matthew, but he runs, stops, and run. He actually see the house, Alex Lily house, with it's a gun on top with a mark 2:17 a.m. He goes in and he actually tried to find Matthew and stands silent. Actually lays silent, and Archer asks, why you don't speak to me, talk to me, Matthew? And he cries instead. The present and it flashes. Gladys appears again. He stumbled back and said, "What the fuck?" And he actually measured and they actually cut back to. And he actually measured every kid's houses and go to Bailey's parents' house. Her mom don't want to do the same, but she actually talked to her husband Garrett to actually come home and counted the steps until they reach 7 at Alex Lily house. Archer see Justine pulled into the gas station. The whisper spread. She actually say she's the problem. But honestly, she see Marcus why she attacking her, and Archer holds Marcus down. But now it's actually Paul's storyline. Yes, I did. I did say it's in the beginning. The people. I actually, honestly, what I would say is, I was actually going to say the 4 people. It. I was actually going to eliminate Paul and James, but these are important too. Because Paul was talking to Donna. She say she want to meet her father for lunch. And her father is Ed, played by Toby Huss. Okay, if anybody know who Toby Huss is, he's the original voice of Con Susan's phone from King of the Hill. But now he's actually played by Del Gribble. Since the passing of, one of Dell's Dell's previous actor actually passed away. So Dell's previous actor passed away. So also seeing Maxine and in Halloween 2018. She tell him about lunch. Donna actually walks by and see Justine, and Paul got ready in for a breakthrough, and he spots at James and chases him through in a police chase scene. And fast and footsteps and stretch through a metal trash can, and Paul tackled James. But his struggle, he loses keys. He locked James' hand and search, and he got prick of James slip something. Did Paul got drunk? Oh wait, that. And also, Paul is in trouble because he actually punched James. Oh, so that how Paul got his hand hurt. Paul doesn't want to see him again. If he does, he will chase him. Paul and talk, and he actually say it could go away if he doesn't complain. And the tension heavy and louder. And Justine said text, hey, and it cuts to them having whoopee. If anybody know what whoopee means, it's I can't say you had to watch the movie. Paul goes home to Donna and his house, and he doesn't have to tell Donna what happened, and she knows. He actually keep it inside, and she going to fight with Justine, and now Paul is after James. He actually took it off the police camera, and he going to drove to. But we actually know he going to drove off. Honestly, the reason why weapons is a mystery. Ziegler designed it for each character have a piece of the puzzle, and I build the Mongolia style influence that wanted weapons to actually storyline that parallel with each other. Each character POV that actually like Justine guilt and suspicion, Archer rage and blame, Paul loyalty and betrayal, James corruption and danger, Marcus failed authority, and Alex innocent mystery. Together they form weapons that emotional, social, and supernatural forces are collided. So like the 6 storylines that we've together, instead of one straight plot, that why your James storyline started. He's a fucking bullshit. He's actually not only a burglar, he's also a drug addict. And he actually doing drugs. Like Homer Simpson saying, drug. He can calls his dealer, and he also calls his mom for money, and he's screaming at her and call her a fucking bitch. Which he's stolen cash and stole everything to actually try to get. And Paul and break Trace and trace him. We cut to what happened after Paul punches him. And Ray poured Hallie stumbles his breath, and he see the house. It's actually Alex Lily house, and he going to rob it to steal something to eat. And James, one door that is locked, and he actually, and Mr. and Mrs. Lily is with a bunch of face holes. Okay, why they have face holes in them? And James hears something upstairs. He's still creeping until he go to the basement, and it's kids. He said, "What the fuck?" And honestly, he actually found out that the kids are worth $50 million. And James is telling the truth where they are, but he nowhere safe because he actually run from Paul into the woods, and he saw Gladys, and he slipped into the tent, and he got attacked he attacked Paul, and desperate while, and he actually, does he have a sex disease? It's actually Alex Lily. And Paul go into the house, and he step inside while James, but what the fuck? And Paul comes out, and other glasses control and call out he at the grocery store, but with his husband Terry. Then he actually in his office eating jelly beans where what coming. Now we meet Gladys. We actually not. We actually never met her until now. She actually played by Amy Coggan, Megan, who actually remember her from Principal Ellen Booth, who actually I will actually do a recount of. We're going to do a count on weapons, on antlers. Honestly, if she combined to help with Alex, her nephew, while his parents need to stay home, and she actually sees the ribbons. Terry and Marcus sit together watching a nature documentary about ants. Then a knock at the door. It Gladys. She runs it Saturday. Runs to their house on Saturday. Needs to talk to Marcus, and Terry warns, "Don't let her." I warned her, "Don't let her in." Marcus Terry say, okay, but I actually want don't give her a bowl of water. They will actually do it anyway. They actually do it. But honestly, they don't listen because honestly, Gladys is a witch. And what she actually do next is she actually need a item, which is Marcus's ribbons, bleed on a stick, then Terry's hair, and ring the bell after breaking the stick. She controls Marcus. She snapped the stick, and he actually spit up a black bile at 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 57 seconds. Marcus falls under glass control and headbutt Terry 15 times in the headbutt until it caves in words. Glass stop with the command after to go after Justine. He actually ran into the gas station. Marcus tackles Justine and Archer save her. Not once, twice. Marcus attacks Archer and Justine escape and Archer save her again as she runs to the car. And Marcus got smashed through the window and Archer followed them. And Marcus goes on the couch. His head and skull destroyed by a car hit by an unknown woman at 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 51 seconds. Archer was actually getting doctor up, and he actually and Justine was get straight up, and he actually Archer was weaponized. Alex, he realized it was weaponized and the area of the house. But Justine actually realized the area house of the special effects of James Collins reveals that he used fire extinguisher to fill the fake blood to effects of Marcus's possession, and the technique sprayed that about the control of the head cravens. Marcus described the headbutt Benton Ward as physically exhausted. He had still repeatedly violent impact while staying safe for co-opted. The stunt team used a soft prosthetic skull pieces and reinforced pies so Wong could slam. Seeger assists to use practical effects over CGI for these devs to keep the grounded visual effects and the crew. Julia said in an interview that watching Wong perform the headbutt was one of the hardest things to sit on because it sound design and blood effects have made it feels real. It's not random kills, it weaponized acts of possession, showing glass manipulation, ordinary people horrific violence. Both Terry and Marcus are victims, not villains, which make their deaths emotional heavy. The effects teams lead into raw, practical gore to amplify the brutality of stylized. And finally, we have Alex is learning about parasites, and he get picked up by Matthew. Then picked up by his dad, who actually called him Axeman. It time for his mom to actually mom's egg Glauc's Mr. Lily kisses Mrs. Lily. She asks, how was your day at school? She want his room clean, and Glass is here. Mr. Lily has say something about um, putting Gladys in hospice. And Gladys smiles and well, to tell you the truth, um, I meant just Alex brushed her teeth, and Alex actually saw a tree. Gladys revealed the truth out that Mr. Lily say she won't last longer than a month. Pencils down, and Matthew throw her pencil at Alex. Alex wait for them, and they never. Alex wait for his dad, but he never show. And they actually act like brainwash. And Glass does. Honestly, Glass did something, and she told him no dinner, and his parents stay at the table, and she said, "Come sit, come sit." Now they're rested. Don't tell anyone that she make them do things like make them stab them with forks. And montage of what actually happened, and cover the windows and glass as I feed them and their soup. Like Homer Simpson say, soup. He actually spent feeding them, and Glass isn't doing well, and water will help. Alex could help by bringing objects of his classmates. If she got better, she could go home. He goes and get the name tag. Justy asks, "You okay?" He say, "Yeah." She knows he been quiet and he can't talk to her, but he doesn't know about Glass' real plans. She rings the bell at the make her potion, ring the spit in it, light it on fire, ring the bell, and the kids come running. Now the whole story come to play, and Glass used the kids as batteries so she can stay alive. Now they run it, run the clean the house. They have to clean the house so Alex see Paul under glass control, and James. Now they're leaving. The cop, honestly, Justine and Archer see the cop car, and Paul waves them. It's a trap, and the climax enter, and they act like they're secure, and their guards attack if they actually step on salt. And Justine pure pace while Archer fight with James. While this and Justine shoot Paul in the neck and blood ooze out at 1 hour 54 minutes and 37 seconds and headshot. Shot him and headshot James. Alex in Glass's room. She shoot James in the head at 1 hour 55 minutes and 3 seconds. They find the kids, Alex in her room. Justine upset. He took the bridge and do like Glass and do, and he tried to fight Matthew. Alex had like Glass. Archer felt Alex Glass's control. Now Alex make his classmate under his control, and they chasing Glass all through the house. Everyone watched, and they actually tackled Glass and tore her apart, mouth to limb. And the kids once control 1 hour 59 minutes and 32 seconds. Now under Alex control. Everyone is free. The house is destroyed. The parents are free. The narrator tells that what ends. Alex moves with a different and dice, and the kid starts. The special effects. James Collins explained that they use a fire cylinder filled with compressed fake blood to create a shower of gore during Glass destruction. For Paul neck wound, they use a prosthetic throat rig to tube in to pump blood in a pulse. At 75, Amy Holland insists on performing much of her own death scene stunts. She prepared intensely to chase a terror, saying that she to feel earned and grotesque. She described the experience as physically and draining, exhilarating, knowing the children after were carefully choreographed and avoided. Julia Garner says shooting Paul and James was mostly heavy. It wasn't gore. It was a betrayal and survival. Amid the headshot scene was quick but terrifying. The pathetic. Seeger emphasized the practical gas over CGI, wanted the death to raw and grounded, and he glasses a reversal of power and press finally consumed their obsessor. How many lives lost in weapons? Let's find out. Let's get to the I'm I'm sorry. Gladys is controlling me. Let's get to the numbers. Five people lost their lives in weapons. Four males and one female. With a runtime of 129 minutes. We that give us a lives lost every hour at 25.8 minutes. About one per hour. The great acts of execution goes to Gladys. Honestly, I would actually chose Terry, but you guys actually chose him. But honestly, this would speak volumes because Gladys's death is a spectacle. Being pulled apart by kids, by two horses, torn by the very kids she once controlled. It's actually a masterpiece and a great death due. The whippy axe goes to Paul. Okay, look. Being scraped by a peeler and shot in the neck and shot in the head is a good setup, but Irvin the Payson didn't land. Weapons was released in 2025, but and became the highest grossing picture of this year. Now pivot, the next one is A Christmas Horror Story. I am William Prouty, aka Nexus. This has been my Lives Lost count. See ya.